The internet is cracked, the show that asks the question, can we coexist with our creation?
Hello, I am Seth Camillo.
And I am Caroline Risberg, and we are the Internet is Cracked by Addicts for Addicts. And today we have our very special friend, Karen Woodward, and she's back again. You are back.
Great to be back.
It's good to have you back. And you are a digital marketing consultant. And we had a great conversation last time you were here, and a lot of things have happened. And we know you are tech obsessed as we are with
Yeah,
his
so our
work.
conversation last time started off about social media and it spun out into AI and it just kind of went from there. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure we ended it by saying we need to talk about this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
exactly.
need to talk about it. Yeah, I think that's how we did actually.
Yeah.
So I think our first, I mean, my first question, or our first question is, how do you think it's changed since last time we talked, especially with social media? Because to me, everything is like exploding even last 6 months, last year.
ChatGPT had been invented, right? We were all just
Yeah.
kind of starting to do
Yeah, it
that,
just
right? Yeah.
started. Yeah.
So I think that at this point, people are learning what they can do with it. And if you are an AI optimist, you say, oh, that's so great. People are so productive and people are so creative. And it's partly true, but I'm seeing it take over the internet.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, then it's going to happen all at once. And I mean, AI has been around for a while in marketing, just in ways we never really thought about classifying as AI. So things like uh, sentiment analysis and posting. So tools like Hootsuite, Sprout, Buffer. I mean, that's
Mhm.
Could you
technically
explain what
AI.
those things are?
So those are tools that are uh, the social media marketers' reason for living, really.
Yeah.
We used to have to post everything natively, and then when these tools were invented, you could schedule your content, which meant that you had a life. Um, and then you
Right.
could, after a while, you could schedule responses to some of the comments, which also meant that you had a life
So these are
because
central hubs where a piece of media will go to Facebook,
yeah. So
Meta,
Yeah.
and everything.
you could take
Everything
one
else.
piece of content, yeah, and you could schedule it to all the
Okay.
platforms.
All
The
right.
really good ones will allow you to slightly change it so it's not exactly the same, or
Okay.
to make your Twitter post within the character limit. And it really saved you time because, I mean, you used to be stuck at your desk. And then to a certain degree, you were still stuck at your desk because what I used to do is set a timer on my phone when a post was going to go out so that I knew that I could race back to my desk or to make
Um,
sure that I could answer all the comments, especially if it was going to be a post that I thought would get a lot of comments. But then you can AI created chatbots, which will do some automatic replies, and you see these all the time. I mean, it's just
yeah.
the
Yeah.
repetition. So in that sense, they've been around for a while. Social listening, which is like sentiment analysis, those types of tools have been around for
What's
a
that
while.
mean?
So you
Sentiment
can,
analysis.
it's to see how, if we were going to go back to comments in social, to see what people are saying about
Okay.
something. Like I remember when I was working at Comcast and um, Brian Williams had said something somewhat controversial. I can't remember what it was now, but they had us do a sentiment analysis to see how mad people were about it.
Mhm.
And
Uh,
I
I
think he said he was shot at while he was in a helicopter, even
that
though
was
he
it.
was not shot
That
at
was it. That
while
was
he
it.
was in a
Yeah.
helicopter.
Yeah. And it was like the powers that be were thinking like, well, how bad is this? How much do people
yeah.
really care? Um, and if I remember correctly, the answer was not really. But AI did that. That was
Okay.
AI. So and
Okay.
to a certain degree, AI has been around for forever. But what is really changing things now is, first of all, I think the algorithm. The algorithm uses AI to figure out what to feed people. And
Uh,
So that's why you keep getting the same types of content because it's like, oh, well, you like
Yeah.
this, and so you must like this.
Yeah.
And the drawback to that is that it's creating these echo chambers, and it's the algorithm benefits companies like Facebook and
Well,
Twitter
that's
more so than it
Yeah.
benefits us.
Can I interject something, which is that I think my original thought with this question is that it feels like, uh, I guess I really use Facebook and Meta. I mean, well, that's where you have friends. At least that's where I mainly would spend my time, like to see what my friends were up to. And now there's nothing. It feels like there's
Yeah.
nothing organic, like
Yes.
nothing
I'm getting
organic.
to that. I'm getting to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this is where AI, now we're in the part of AI where I think it's becoming dangerous, might be hyperbolic, but you've got generative AI. So now you don't know what what images or videos that you're seeing are even real.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then you have LLMs, large language
Mhm.
models. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Um, which I personally love because as a writer, it was how I became sort of obsessed with AI because I wanted to see how it could improve my writing. I wanted to see how it could mimic my writing, so I didn't have to take a blog post that used to take 6 hours now takes about two.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I and people laugh about, well, you can always tell certain text is AI because of like the end dash or because of the
Right.
certain structure about um and honestly, it's true. I can spot and I'm proud of this. I can spot AI writing.
I can't.
I well so here's the thing. So there is unsophisticated AI writing and there's sophisticated AI writing, and it is all about the prompt that you put in. So I look at AI writing as I am the editor. So I will usually start a first draft with my own thoughts, and then I put it into an AI and I tell it very specifically what I want it to do.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I want you to write this in my voice, which I've already trained it in my voice. I want you to, give it a structure of, beginning, middle, and end, and that you have to really say what it is I want it to do. I want it to include examples, that kind of thing, and then it spits something back to you, and then you go through it line by line. No, fix this. This doesn't sound like me. Or fix this. This is too formal. So you go through it like that. And when it started off as something that was yours,
Mm.
and you just go through it line by line as an editor,
Mhm.
then it becomes a piece of content that I think could pass muster. But
Mhm.
you can tell people who
Mm.
just like start from scratch with a bad prompt, like write something about, X, and it just pulls out from anywhere.
Right.
That you can easily spot. You can easily spot. There's certain
But
words it uses all the
Well,
time.
you're probably like a super expert at it because I know that they're having trouble even at universities. They would run the writing through these machines, through programs. They would say, okay, this is fabricated by a computer. And now it's beating,
Is beating that. So here's
it's beating the
yes.
yeah.
computer.
Mm.
So that isn't my next obsession is these tools that will allow you to because I want to see if the AI that I use can be, if the client can notice,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of them, the the only one that I found that really works is originality.ai. That
Okay.
is the only one that is correctly catching my AI.
Okay.
And it's so good at even getting, like, partly AI. So, like, it was started off as my sentence, but it's only slightly adjusted. I'm like, "Oh my god."
That's
Yeah.
But
amazing.
then
Yeah.
it is amazing. It is the only one that has picked it up because I have put other ones into some of these other tools, especially the free versions, and I'm like, "Sucker, that was totally AI."
Can I ask
But
a
it's
question though?
100%
Yeah. Yeah.
original.
Can
Yeah.
I ask you one question, which is, who cares if I hire you if you use AI? If you're
Well,
effective, isn't that what I care about? Not
okay, so
whether or
that
not.
yes, that is a whole other thing, right? I was reading this thread on LinkedIn where people were saying exactly that. Like you
Yeah.
should never use it, blah blah blah. And then someone was like, "Well, who cares? If I'm writing effective writing and it's working, like doesn't matter." And it was like this collective pause in the thread, and I thought to myself, "Right? Right? Does it matter?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's when you have to start thinking about like the ethics behind all of this.
But I think of your
Yeah.
quote
That's yeah.
obsessively, where you were holding up your cell phone and you said,
Uh,
you said, people to go back and watch the first episode with you because you hold up the phone and you go, "It's a tool now. It's a tool now, but in 10 years, it's
Just
not going to
wait.
be a tool anymore." And I think about that statement actually quite a bit. That maybe we're now in the golden era because, like, I make little AI videos, and it's like, in some way, I am contributing. Obviously, I'm not shooting it, but it does kind of feel like somehow I have done something artistic, even though it's AI.
Oh
But
my gosh.
probably very soon it will be too easy, and then I won't feel like it's art.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yes. Well, Caroline knows this because you follow me on Facebook. Actually, I think Seth, you do now too. I used a tool. I want to say it might have been Opus AI, where I took a photo of my
Oh, yeah.
siblings and I when we were like really young, and I had it animated, and it turned into this really like creepy but not bad like
Mm,
video of us dancing,
yeah.
and it was like not bad.
Mhm.
I mean, I put it up as an example of what how AI is capable of doing something like this, but I think universally people kind of laughed because it was obviously AI.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's the thing
But
is that I used Luma Labs because of you. You had some other thing on LinkedIn long, long ago
Yeah.
with Luma Labs, and I was like, "Okay." And you can pay per usage rather than, having to get a subscription, although I'm starting to think a subscription might actually be cheaper. But
Well, that's how they get you, Seth.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All that aside, it is clearly AI, so it's like, I don't know, there's
But
something.
here's the thing. I do get a sort of sense of satisfaction over finding the perfect image for something that I generated myself. Um,
Mhm.
I had one prompt that I put into a number of image generating AIs that was the same prompt. It
Oh.
was I described myself and as a social media manager who's sitting at her desk. She has uh, 2 cats at her feet. I described the cats. She is looking really stressed out and, and I described other things. And it was amazing how many of the image generators got it wrong, like
Mm,
horribly,
Yeah.
horribly wrong. Like one of them took 2 people. I was like,
mm,
when did I become 2 people?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
yeah.
I was like, she looks stressed out and, and these people are like really happy. And I was like, wow, they got a strange definition of stressed out. But I think that's going to change really, really soon.
Yes.
I know I tried with Sora, right? Sora, to also
Hard.
do the
It's
same.
hard to get a good one.
Oh, it's really hard. I was like, this is I don't know what this is. It was
But it's
like,
not entirely AI's fault. A lot of that is prompting.
okay,
And that is
okay.
why for a while there, I thought I was gonna maybe refashion myself as like a prompt engineer. And then I realized that
Oh,
there were like 15-year-olds who are gonna learn prompt engineering a lot
Yeah.
faster than I am.
yeah,
So, which is another scary thing about AI is how fast it's moving
yeah.
and that this younger generation knows it so much better than we do, which is scary for us who want to keep jobs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
which is actually a maybe a solid segue into the,
Yeah.
article from
Yeah.
the Anthropic SEO
Yes,
CEO.
yes.
Yeah. Anthropic, I'm fairly certain I've got this right, was developed by people who left OpenAI because they weren't comfortable with the safety protocols. And so you've got
Mhm.
the CEO of Anthropic who posted, an article on Axios? I think it was Axios. I think it was Axios.
Yeah,
Um, basically giving this gigantic warning that what is it, 10 to 20% of the white collar workforce is going to be out of work.
yeah,
Um, and that at basically, if not actually, I think it was maybe 50% of like entry level is going to be gone.
yeah.
And that we as a society are not preparing for this. And this is something that we talked about on the last time I was on here, which
Yeah,
is like if you don't think that corporations' main goal with AI, or at least one of their main goals, is to get rid of employees, you're not paying attention.
right.
And it's like here it
True.
is. You've got the Anthropic CEO who's like putting out a big warning here, but and even Steve Bannon agrees with him. Never thought I'd be on
Yeah.
the same side of anything with Steve Bannon. And you have politicians who aren't doing anything.
We saw within the last 6 months, let's just say that,
Mhm.
even 6 months, how fast. What is it going to be in 10 years? When they already, Sam Altman said, like in, what was it, 2030, everything's going to look completely different than it do today.
So here we've got Sam Altman who is the CEO of OpenAI. So you've
Yeah.
got the two differences here between Anthropic and OpenAI.
Yeah.
And Anthropic guy is like, "Hello, red flag." And Sam Altman's like, "Everything's gonna be great and everything's gonna be super duper and we're gonna be created and it's gonna be lovely." And it's like, what? What proof do you have?
But who do you respect more? The person who says at least that it's I mean, I think you're maybe worse if you're like, "The stuff I'm making is gonna kill you." Like, then stop making it.
Well, okay, so here's where we're gonna start talking about
Mhm.
the good things about AI. So AI
Mm,
has made me incredibly productive.
mm,
Um,
mm.
in certain things. So, like, I have a client right now where, they have their large corporation and they wanted to see what they needed to measure how all the different regional all across the globe, how the different departments were doing with their social media because they're so fragmented. And she's like, I there's so many here that I need to figure out who's doing a good job and who's like not doing a good job. And so and she didn't have access to like all of their reports. So what I used to do when I was given a task like this is I would go to a Facebook page and I would literally count how many posts did they do in the last year? How many comments do they have on each one? How many likes do they have? And that is how I would measure engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was backbreaking, time consuming work. AI did it in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So in that case, AI was really helpful.
Helpful,
And
yeah.
then to, just to completely get rid of all my critical thinking skills, then I could upload all of this into Notebook LLM, which is Google's it's like an AI that will analyze things for you. You can put spreadsheets and PowerPoints in it and summarize this and in this case I'm like, well, tell me which departments should probably be let go, and it's like it's it took no time at all for me to
Yeah.
destroy someone's life. Um, and but it saved a lot of time. I mean, in a sense, when it gave me the answer before I could look at it, it was kind of a bummer because that was kind of the aspect of my job that I liked a lot, looking at
Uh,
those patterns. And I still did do it. I looked to find the patterns myself first, and then I put it into the LLM and to see if it would, I guess, agree with me. Which it did, and it had some other insights, and, I'm gonna look really smart, unless
yeah.
she listens to this podcast and knows exactly
Yeah.
what I just did. Uh, so L AI has helped me seem smarter,
Mm,
but is
yeah.
it to the detriment of my own critical thinking? Probably.
For
Yeah.
me, I would echo your thoughts. I would say that I'm able to well, I make little AI videos. I go through articles like crazy. I do and I have them yeah, summations and honestly, I don't feel like I retain it. It's not
No,
like reading a book.
No.
no, I do not retain it, and what scares me about that is that we are all old enough and smart enough to at least be aware that we're not retaining something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We thought that the internet was, adding to the dumbification of the universe. Think about what
Right.
AI is gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are raising a generation, 2 generations of kids who are not gonna know how to think.
Yeah. That is, yeah. That's true.
You go on like Yahoo or something and you want to look at an article as a button, would you like me to summarize this article? And I'm like, the article's like 2 pages. Like, no, I don't need you to summarize. But I think that's where we're headed. It's like
We
it's
are
like
heading there.
headline.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
I go to Google just this morning. I was Googling something. I was saying to my sister, I can't stand it when there is no AI summary on what I'm searching for because it's forcing me now to go in and find a website that looks legit. And of course, that I also have to pass by all the sponsored bullshit. So
Mm.
it just makes it so you don't, I don't go to Google that much anymore unless I'm looking for a specific, URL. I go to Perplexity, which is my favorite thing.
Mhm.
And Anne
Okay.
said my sister said one time, "What's Perplexity?" And I said, "Perplexity. It does the Googling for you." She's like, "Do you work there?"
And they can click for you.
But it's true, it does, and it includes sources. So, I use that when I'm writing something and I need to know a little bit more about it. I go to Perplexity because at least I know where the
So
facts are
wait a
coming
minute,
from.
and I am confused because I've never I've heard of
You don't know
Perplexity,
Perplexity?
but I've never used it. So
Me
explain
neither.
So
what
it's
it is.
essentially it is what Google probably wishes that it was. So you you go t so when you go to Google and you see the AI summaries?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is all Perplexity is an AI summary that is not just a snippet, it's pulling in from different websites, and it is laying it all out for you. It's giving you a summary
Okay.
of everything it saw on the Internet.
Oh, wow.
And then
Okay.
it has a separate tab where it has all its sources. And within the summary, it's tagged like Wikipedia is, so you can see, well, where'd you get that? And you click on it and it tells you exactly where it got that piece of information.
Mm.
You can also, if you have never heard of where it got some of the information, because sometimes I'll look at it, be like, what the hell is that website? I will change my prompt to say, give rewrite this using sources that people have actually heard of. And
Yeah.
then it'll turn back like, Forbes or, whatever, like
Yeah.
publications that people know.
Ah.
Which is great because when I'm doing research, I can include that in something, or I can include stats in like a social media post. And if my boss says, "Well, where'd you get that info?" I just go, "Oh, then let me just show you."
Yeah, that's cool.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Saves you so much time in research,
Huh. That's great. Actually really
but still
cool.
makes you read it, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
I will, I sometimes will skip to the most relevant parts, but it's now that I've mentioned it, play with it. You're gonna be like, "This
Okay.
is so
Yeah,
much
I'm
fun."
definitely gonna wanna play with it. I mean, I feel like for me, obviously I'm Swedish. I'm not, perfect in English. And it helps me a lot with ChatGPT, whatever, to, I feel like, I'm feeling more secure when I'm gonna write an email or whatever that I have it go through. When you go through it and you try to make it sound,
Yeah.
still like me, but I feel like I don't need someone to ask them like, hey, can you does it look good? But you did have with Grammarly
Oh,
and all that too. But this is better now than
no, it's like having a person there
it
who you can
Mhm.
is. It
actually ask
is.
questions to.
I would
Yes.
I scream, especially at the, AI at, Luma Labs. I guess they call it Dream Maker is their official title. I
Mhm.
don't know, but you know what I mean, Luma Labs, what you use to do the
Yeah.
hugging, and, I will get really hot under the collar after because it's 80 cents a prompt, and I'm like, "You just I'll yell at it, I'll say, "You just wasted $1.60 of my
Yeah.
bleeping money.
Yeah.
Get it right. Don't
Especially when you
doom,
know your
don't."
prompt was good? Like, when I put in prompts that are like, "1 social media manager," why is there a group here? Where is
Yes.
there a group in this prompt?
Do
And
you see mine? Yeah.
it's obsessed with people's lips moving, and I will say, nobody's lips move. We're just watching nobody's talking. Nobody talks. Nobody talks. I'll say that like 10 times. And finally, nobody talks, and of course, it'll come out and somebody's talking.
Yeah. No, I just yeah. AI
It
is
makes me
is
angry.
is fallible. Yes, yes. Well, capitalism is capitalism, right? Like we get pissed off. And it's not that I think that they're programmed to have bad prompts so they can get that 80 cents or
Mhm.
whatever. But, I think that we always have to remember that the bottom line for AI is to make money, is capitalism.
Yeah.
And anybody like Sam
Yeah.
Altman who tries to pretend otherwise is
It's definitely a slot machine. I mean, it's like it probably I should just walk away, But I'm like,
Why? It's
some of
so
these
much
things
fun.
Yeah, you're
I can't
addicted.
walk away from it. I should change my idea to that into something that it can actually do successfully, but then I become obsessed with it doing it correctly, and it
Yes,
does
yes.
become a slot machine, which
I have
partial
lost
to
hours of my life trying to perfect what it is I have asked. Yeah. But it's fun, right?
Yeah.
when it works.
When it works. I mean, sometimes I get up early in the morning and sometimes I getting a text from Seth and it's and it's like 6 in the morning or something. And I know he's not someone who gets up at 6 in the morning. So then
No.
I'm like, you've been up all night, probably with your prompts.
Yes,
And I
exactly.
get like some really cool looking stuff, and you're like, you know,
Marginally cool, but
But
yeah.
yeah,
but,
marking
you equate it to a slot machine. That's exactly what it is. It's the same, well,
yeah.
maybe the next iteration will be the perfect one. Maybe
Oh
next
yeah,
one.
that's true.
Partial
That
differential reinforcement. Yep.
That
that
was
is a good
impressive.
one. Yes, that was very but that is true though, if you think about it, like you can't stop. That's a good analysis about
Yeah,
it.
it's like
It
it's
is
like
a
the
stop
scroll,
machine.
right? It's just
Yeah,
like the scroll on TikTok.
you can't stop.
But I think this is a good question for you, and it actually harkens back to what we were talking about authenticity and can you catch AI and all that. What do you think about the fair use standard? Essentially, why AI works is because it can read books and
Mm.
not give you the book, but learn how to write. Do you think that that is fair? Like my movies, Caroline's movies, do you think it's fair for them to be ingested and used and trained on? Or do you think it is a violation of, well, I don't know, copyright, that's law. Is it morally wrong? Let's just start there.
Well, yes. It is 100% morally wrong,
Okay.
Mhm.
in my opinion, because they are stealing from the work of others in order to create something that they are gonna make a ton of money doing.
Yeah,
So in that case, I think that it's absolutely morally wrong. I think a lot of things that happen in businesses are morally wrong. It doesn't mean people are gonna stop doing it.
What do you think, Caroline? Do you feel like it's moral or immoral?
I think it's unmoral. I yeah, I feel like it's stealing work. Actually pretty much what Karen is saying. I really feel like it taking away from artists, it's taken away from writers, it's taken away from somebody who is original and and eventually I feel like you're not gonna be it steals from you. It's steal. I don't think it's moral. It's stealing.
Well,
It
I
does.
have a slightly different feeling. The one argument that I do definitely agree with is that newspapers, the fourth branch of government, is getting eaten alive, right? Because they're not making money
Right.
because of what you're saying about the summarization and the. But the idea that my films have been ingested and I made a film about the circus, so somebody's going to somebody's AI, they're going to say like make a a a flying trapeze flyer flip 3 times and be caught. And it's gonna reference something, the physics of what was in my film, and I feel comfortable with that because all Quentin Tarantino is essentially doing the same thing, watching lots of movies and then churning out his own movie. I mean, we're all learning from things. Why can't they learn?
I think for me, with this particular example, you made your movie, it came out, you know, you are not continuing to make money off of that movie.
Well, I should
Um,
be, but I'm not, yeah.
yeah. Would you feel differently if you had a TV series that was ongoing?
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
So that's why I think a lot of writers
Yeah.
maybe complain about this a little bit more.
I just think that
Yeah, yeah.
the one thing I really do worry about is journalism because they are not getting the revenue that they need, and it is important that we have a healthy, functioning thousands and thousands of journalists in
We do.
America doing their work, and if they can't get paid, then that's a real problem.
But then I have a question, like those people, the journalists who stop working, and unfortunately now also AI can start doing a lot of articles and all this kind of thing. But what are they gonna live on? Are they gonna make money on Substack?
Well, that's why it's the journalists who know how to market themselves or who have partnered with somebody who knows how to market them. They're still going to be journalists. They're just going to be on Substack, which is it's a premium, a freemium platform. So oftentimes, they will have it set up that, you for free, you get like one article a week. But if you subscribe, you get, 5 to 7 plus all these other bells and whistles.
I
Substack.
feel
Right.
very guilty myself because I have a subscription to the New York Times and I have a subscription to Apple News, which I feel like Apple must be like the head of the mafia or something with these because I get so much good writing and good articles from the Atlantic from all over
Yes,
for
the Atlantic.
$10
Oh,
a month. And it's like, how are these people possibly making any money? I'm getting like the most, Nobel Prize winners. I'm getting the most incredible writing. And what is that? $10, 30 cents, 33 cents a day. And I'm getting all it's a
Yeah.
complete, I feel guilty for how much wonderful writing I get so cheaply.
Today, I feel like all the platform looks completely different. I don't even know, let's say you're posting something, you don't even know who sees it. Do anyone sees it? If we don't, do you have to pay a bunch of ads? Do you have to spend money? Like, how do people actually get seen out
so
there?
it depends on the platform. Um, if you are on like Meta, so Instagram or Facebook, pay to play,
Pay to
full
play.
stop.
Yeah.
Twitter is, I mean, who even knows? X. I mean, really, just if you say something about how great Donald Trump or Elon Musk is, you'll probably get seen. If you say something against either one of them, you'll get banned. So, um, if you're on Blue Sky or Threads, no one's seeing it. Full stop.
Yeah.
I know. No one sees it, right?
The only interesting thing, and Instagram Reels does this as well, is TikTok. So, in order to get seen on TikTok, you simply have to create great content because great content is constantly viewed, and then TikTok's algorithm sees that as something interesting, and it will constantly be
Okay.
be pushing it into the algorithm. So, and that's what's been so interesting
So
about with that.
TikTok is basically taken over what Meta used to do, which is say we're basically getting free content from these content creators and we get to advertise around it. But now I feel like on Instagram and Facebook, like I don't even see my friends. I feel like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like somebody could die and I wouldn't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But remember the old days? And
Yeah.
it's you asked the question a while ago, Seth. When it was just your friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I felt like I, like, knew what my friends were up to. Now, if I wanna know what a friend is up to, but Caroline knows this, not that I really care all that much. Um, I have to go to Facebook and put in their
Yeah.
name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Um, so, yeah, has TikTok become what Meta is? I mean, kinda, sorta. It's what's interesting about Meta was that they were all about forcing you to pay for followers, starting way back in, like, 2012 or something. They were saying how many followers you have is so important because that's who
Mhm.
sees your content, right? And so, all the corporations paid to have followers. And
Right.
then it was like, "Well, we have so many followers, like, are they all seeing all of our content?" It's like, "Well, no, but if you want them to, you gotta pay us." So then then
Yeah.
they learned from TikTok or TikTok learned from them or whatever. TikTok was like, "No, we don't care about followers. We just care about good content. So we're just gonna keep showing good content." And that works because people will stick around for good content, but it also means it doesn't really matter how many followers you have. And I think that benefits us because
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
put video up on TikTok right now, and if it was just really, really good, like, it could go viral. And I have maybe, 25 followers on TikTok. Like,
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know if the same thing could happen on Reels. It certainly couldn't happen on Facebook.
Well, have you heard about the dating app that takes your search history?
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, so it will take your search history, and it matches you to your partner on the basis of your search history.
That
And
is
I actually think's like a good idea.
fucking terrifying.
I
Okay,
know.
it is a great idea, but think about everything that you guys search for, okay? Not
Yeah.
just things for work or like, where the
Yeah.
local dog park is. Think about everything you search for, right?
Yeah.
I put
Yeah.
this mark on my, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah. Yeah. You're
do
right.
I
You're
want to
right.
meet somebody else who has the same problems I do? But it's honestly, it's we laugh about it, but I think that's the future. I really do. I think privacy is going away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, actually, let me rephrase. Privacy's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any semblance of privacy that we think we have, we do not. And that is something that I definitely worry about. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but I worry about the future of humanity.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I I am too. And just what you say about privacy, with all the cameras you start to putting up in cities or downtowns area where they can scan your face and figure out, oh, Karen is good. Caroline had something on her record. Let's see if there's something happened. I mean, that's the whole Big Brother kind of thing that actually really scares me.
Well, that's how they found the guy who shot the United Healthcare guy.
Oh, that
Imagine.
yeah. Oh, they did, right? Yeah.
They use cameras, but I'm not even just talking about like camera type of privacy, like our data
No, yeah.
privacy. Like
It
they're gonna
was
take
it
what you've
was
been.
he was flirting with a girl, and he pulled down his mask in the hostel, and the
Yeah,
hostel had an image of him because of that, and that's why
and
they
that's
were
how they
able
got it.
to.
As you said, like, of privacy, like who we are, what we want to become. If I want to be a writer, I mean, we're giving all this away, this passion. I do think we're feeding this machine to something that it's not going to be good. I mean, I love to go back to my Terminator, but the premises of that was, why did the Terminator kill us all? It was because what it was to kill people because we were the one who destroyed the planet. I mean, humans are not, we're not good.
That might be the big. You know what? That's probably the
And that
bigger
ends this
problem.
episode
And
of
this
Human
episode,
Humans are not.
it-
But I love it now. I love the AI agent, which is basically the baby version of the thing that's going to take over everything.
yeah,
Right? It's
good you
like,
brought that
oh,
up.
it's gonna go get my, it'll figure out
Coffee.
how to invest my money. Oh, it'll do this, and it's more and more power you will cede to artificial intelligence until one day you look around and you go, wait, who owns whom at this point? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we all know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And the problem is that uh, one way that I think that we can, two ways with are related, that we can combat this is to teach critical thinking in schools and to encourage creativity in schools.
Yeah.
But that is going away too. Funding for anything creative in schools went a long time ago, and now, like, you know, teaching critical thinking in schools is considered, this administration does not want that to happen.
Right.
So, are we doomed? I don't know. I
I
think
don't know.
maybe Andrew Yang had something about the universal basic income, because if we all lose our jobs, how are companies going to survive to sell us things?
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can think of, I mean, I was talking to a friend who was like, "Oh, well, the markets will take care of that, and that's when the middle class and the lower class will rise up." I'm like, I don't think so. I think
No.
that what's going to happen is that they're going to give us a universal basic income, so we can just afford our own stuff, and that's going to be pretty much it. But
Yeah.
it's not going to make any of us rich. It's just going to mean so that we can buy groceries.
Eat. Yeah. So we can eat.
And streaming platforms will take off because we gotta have something to do. Video games take off, gotta have something to do.
Yeah. But then also we're going to be so many doing the same thing over and over and over again because we don't have. I mean, I even thought about this, like say just for social media or whatever it is. But we are trying to, everyone trying to be a little star now.
Oh yeah, everyone
On
wants to be famous.
TikToks, everyone want to be famous. Everyone want to try to make money some kind of way. And if we don't have a job anymore because AI took it, I mean, we're going to have billions of no. I mean, none of us going to be seen.
Well, here's what I think is interesting about the people who are trying to make themselves famous. The people who do it right, good on you, right? Because they avoided having to work for the man. And the ones who are really successful are forced to learn business. I mean, you listen to some
It's
of
true.
these, like, you know, 20-year-olds talking intelligently about their numbers and like how much they charge for an advertising and not how they, justify that. And it's like, wow, I didn't know that when I was your age.
There's limitless numbers of shows we can do because pulling it apart is impossible. It really is because we're talking about what it means to be human at the core, and you know, yeah, like you're saying, universal basic income. That's not what I signed up for. That's not what I
No.
dreamed of when I
No.
was a
No.
kid. I was like, "Yay, I'm going to watch." Caitlin Clark went to the university I went to, so, I love Caitlin Clark. So, I didn't sign up to be, like, the Caitlin Clark super fan watching all her games and you know what I
But
mean? Like, that wasn't my goal in life, and
It's one of those things that sounds
right.
great in theory, right? Like, great, I'll just sit around all day. But then once you've done that for like, let's say a few months, now what
yeah.
are you gonna do?
It also
Yeah.
implies that the AI that has taken over will take pity on us and give us food and shelter,
No, it's
and
not.
you
No,
get
no, 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 no. The AI is not doing that. So the AI is not going to give up the big corporations. They're still winning.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos still winning because he can sell his products and he
Yeah.
can force us to watch Amazon shows. Not that it's a bad thing because there's some really good shows on Amazon right now.
This really is.
But venture capitalists, they're going to own all the real estate. They're going to be just fine. Like those types of corporations are still going to exist, but they need people like us to, you
well,
know,
Feed the
you can't have a
machine.
flourishing economy without an economy, basically.
right, exactly.
You have to have an exchange of goods and money in order to you have to have an economy to have an economy,
Yeah. It's not going to be
basically.
an exchange of goods, I don't think. It's going to be an exchange of goods for money. That's going
Yeah.
to be, yeah, that's it.
It may be the only
Unless
job.
prostitution becomes legal, which, maybe it will.
Well, maybe it will, because that's going to be maybe the only way or
The
making
only way some women are going to be able to make money.
money. Or you be a plumber.
Or men, equal
Oh, man.
opportunity here.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Opportunity to get
You're
a
welcome,
job.
so you've been great at it.
But
Uh,
but then when the robots start looking like real people and they can do all this weird stuff, hey, then you can't even be a prostitute anymore.
Yeah, that's very true. So you're going to take that away. Yeah. Yeah, robot blow up dolls. Great. But it could be anybody you want it to be.
And it's anyone.
Look like
And
anybody.
yeah.
Is somebody on this? Because if not, we should be.
this, but there was a flurry of articles about this, about 3 or 4 days ago about people. It's not just sexual. It's it's all types of relationships. Are be Some people make friends with their chat GPT and they kind of slip into psychosis, because they feel so human and they're not human and they lose track of reality. And it's not just sexual stuff. It's
Oh, no. I mean, haven't you
No,
guys ever
mentally.
used ChatGPT as your therapist? I know I have.
I
And
haven't done it yet, but
I take the fifth on
it
that one.
is it is very helpful. I felt like it was really there for me. And it was, it's like when you're sitting in bed at night and it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and like there's really nobody else to talk to. ChatGPT is there.
that's so funny you saying that because I feel like when my ChatGPT, I mean, it's always in my corner. It was like that is a really good question, Caroline. That's a really good question because I
And
have a
I'm like,
lot of why
I'm
questions.
helping train AI because I asked
Yeah,
a question that clearly nobody else had thought of.
and no one.
Well, I hate it when it gives me compliments because it sees through what I'm asking. It'll say something like, "Oh, so what you can do is X, Y, and Z," when I was already thinking about X, Y, and Z, but I only was asking about X, and
Mhm.
it could see what was formulating in my head, and I'm like, "You little so and so, you're smarter than I am." Like I didn't even tell you what my big grand idea was yet, and you beat me to the punch, you know,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
when it
it's
learns you,
smart.
when it
It is
learns you,
smart.
and it'll yeah, it is very smart, and it goes back to conversations you've had before. Um, like me trying to figure out things that I'm allergic to. I'll be like, well, what about this? What about that? But remember, you were allergic to such and such, so probably not a good idea to try this. I'm like, oh, right.
That's right. Yeah.
And these are conversations with my colleague calls ChatGPT chatty, because let's face it, ChatGPT is too hard to say. These are conversations with Chatty that have been going on for like months, and
Yeah.
it's like a friend or a colleague or like a
Oh, yeah,
super
I
good
hate it when it
assistant.
Yeah.
remembers something I said to it months ago, like, because it does clear out I don't know what it remembers, why it remembers this, but it'll say something like, "Oh, yeah, because you like Asian food," or something. I'm like, "What
Hmm.
what did you just say to me? Who are you?" Like, what
Yeah.
If it's
it
in the
freaks me
same
out.
thread, that doesn't surprise me as much as it does if it's in like a separate thread
No,
that's
it'll be
created. Yeah.
separate, and
Yeah.
it'll just remember. What are we gonna be talking to you about in 6 or 8 months? Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. What's gonna be happening in the world of tech?
We are going to have the first serialized show that people are actually addicted to, and then the whole thing is made with AI. We already have a hit song that was made by AI, that is doing really well on Spotify. I can't remember the name of it, but if you listen
No,
to it,
Caroline sent it to me, and I was ready to
Yeah.
be, like, very dismissive, and
and
I loved it.
yeah, I think that we are very close to that. We will all be watching a show that is made entirely by AI, but with like humans. It's not going to pretend, it
Yeah.
it it's not going to be an animated show or
Yeah,
whatever, which is obviously a lot easier.
it's gonna be
Um,
photorealistic.
yeah,
But do
and we
you
are
think
all going to
it's
be
going to
watching
be AI actors or real actors?
AI
Mm.
actors.
Yeah, you do think so. Yeah.
Yeah, whole
So that
thing, written by AI, produced by
uh
AI, starring AI. I mean, there'll obviously be a human behind it somewhere.
with
Um,
the prompts,
with
maybe.
prompts. Yeah. Well, you have to, somebody at this stage, somebody has to create something. Um, so that's where I think we'll be next time we talk. But ask me again in like a year. I mean, I think that we will have AIs that will be creating this show from just based off of a conversation that we had.
Mhm.
You just say to
Oh,
AI, come up with
Yes.
come up with 10 TV
Yes.
shows based on this discussion
That's
and
exactly
produce
right.
them and
yeah.
put them on YouTube
I
and
believe
stagger them
Yeah.
that
out.
I agree with. I agree with that. I've thought that exact same thought that you will just say, "I'm in the mood for what are things I like?" Well, I like Paris. I like, girls that are into the Pixies and I wanna see Parker Posey when she was 40 in Paris, in a romantic comedy, and
Yep,
it'll make it.
yep. And at first, it'll be shit,
Yeah.
but as it gets better, I mean, as it learns,
Yeah.
eventually, they're gonna be really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can already see the videos that we have seen now that is AI made. They're really good. And
Yeah.
I, you can actually not really tell if it's a person or not.
No, you can. And I
It's,
think that the, marketing will be on its last legs. Like, there will be no more creative agencies, digital agencies.
really.
Agencies in general will be gone, I think, within 2 years.
So you think your job will be gone?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not within 2 years, but definitely within 5. And on that positive note,
Yes, on
And
that
on that
positive
note,
note.
I we can call it a wrap, and we have you now recorded. And next time we meet up, I will cut the segment out or at least annotate what you predicted, and
okay.
we'll see how right you
Yeah,
are.
that would be a good one to
Did
see.
I
We'll see
Yeah,
how
predict
I like
anything
that.
last time besides the fact that if you don't, you
I think you just thought we
nothing.
were all gonna die, that's always gonna be
No,
true.
I don't think I was at death yet. I think I was at, like, we're
No,
not
no.
gonna have
Okay.
jobs.
Basically,
We're not
we're
gonna have
gonna lose
jobs.
our jobs.
Yeah,
We're
and now
gonna
Okay.
lose our
I've
jobs.
gone a little further. We're all gonna die.
We're all
Okay.
gonna die eventually. Oh, or maybe they're gonna make us live well, no one wanna live forever. I mean,
A lot of people wanna live forever.
Well, I don't
But,
wanna die, but I
who was the senator that said, "Well, we're all gonna die anyway," right? Who was
That's
yeah.
yep.
yeah.
Was it
Joni
Joni Ernst?
Yep.
Yes. Charming, charming lady.
Whoa, would you an incredible dinner party guest. Who do you want to? What? Who are you inviting? 5 people are you inviting to your dinner party? Joni Ernst for sure.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
hear what she has to say
Definitely.
about my desire to live
Yeah,
a
and
healthy
Christy
life.
Nome. Christy Nome puts things
Yes,
yes.
The
the Kev-
Kristen, no.
the Kevorkian sisters, basically. But yes.
Yes.
Oh, I
All
love this.
right. Well,
Well,
thank you so very much.
yes, thank you so much, Karen, and we have another when we see you again, another uplifting discussion and see where we where we are in life.
All
I love
I
it.
come with gloom and doom every time, don't I?
But I can't tell you how many times I have quoted you saying, with the phone in your hand, you had your phone in your hand. It's a tool now. It's a tool now. But you
This
wait
way.
10
I
years.
will you send that to me? I don't think I've seen that.
I'll
No,
cut.
yes, you
I'll,
were. Yeah,
yes, you were.
and
It's
you
a
always
tool
bring it
now.
up. This
But
Uh,
just
tool
wait.
now. Just
Just
wait and
wait.
see. And
Yeah.
we are there now.
We're all gonna
Yeah.
die. But before that, it's gonna be universal basic income.
All right. All
Thank you,
right.
Karen. Thank you,
Thank you so
Karen.
very
See
much.
you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching or listening to The Internet is Crack. Tune in next week when we have another great conversation about robotics, AI, and the internet. You can watch us or listen to us on YouTube or Spotify or many other outlets. And don't forget to follow us on social media. See you next Monday.